All right. I just jumped right in there. Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into Subeg's Garden, episode number, I think this is 27 at this point. As you guys can already tell, I have a very important and special guest on today's episode. So this is a long time coming for me. Just gonna throw you in. I was gonna make like a little Pokemon reference.
Yeah.
I was gonna do like gym leaders, like you're the first gym leader that I like. I've assembled my Pokemon with all of my episodes and stuff. I got
Uh-huh.
my fire type starter, finally making it to the first gym. I'm gonna make something like that, but I was like, you know what? I'll just mention it and then just move on.
Was that what your first Pokemon? Is your starter Pokemon the fire one? Is that
Yes,
what your
sir. Yes,
that's your
sir.
role? Okay.
Yeah, I love the.
All right.
Well, I'm a fire sign, so it's kind of like I kind of, I kind of like, what am I trying
Gravitate
to
towards that.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I got you.
But yeah, introducing to the garden, the producer himself. Shout out to Cog, Mr. Ben Smith. How you doing today, Ben?
I'm doing all right, man. I appreciate you having me on, inviting me to be on. I know it took us a little while to get it together, but
All good.
here I am. Here we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm so honored, honestly. Like I'm so honored to have you on. I honestly never thought that this will happen. And I'm like
Yeah.
I'm a really shy person inherently. So like I don't really like shoot my shot too often, but
Sure.
um this is crazy. Let me stop
I'm just,
fangirling now. um just for my audience though,
yeah.
what is Ben Smith? Who are you, my friend?
Yeah. Well, I'm Ben. As you mentioned, I been playing games like my whole life. I like to get into the nitty gritty of games. I like to, actually play them, but I also like to explore the business behind them and talk about that. Right now, I work for Last Stand Media. I'm an associate producer. I am also a producer at Lily Mo Games, and help make some of those games and get them to the storefronts and everything. I'm a father, husband, got a wife and two kids. They're like 8 and 10 years old. I said like 8 and 10 years old. They're 8 and 10 years old. And I used to own a brewery. I used to be the mayor of a small town. So yeah, I've done a lot of stuff.
Man
But
of many hats.
today I also do a podcast that has been going for 260 some episodes.
Handsome
So
Phantom,
yeah,
right?
yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Now you stream those live, huh?
We do now. We've only been doing that for a couple months. We used to do them all; they were audio only,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple months ago, we just decided, hey, let's just stream these live,
Mm.
and it's been fun. The audience on the live videos hasn't been as big as like we have a pretty decent size
Yeah.
audio audience, but the video audience hasn't caught on yet. But that's okay. We still got people. We just do it. I mean, to have fun.
Yeah.
It's nothing serious.
Yeah, it's like something to do, right?
Yeah,
I just
you
gonna
got it.
grab my phone real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
I have some notes all over the place. Some on my phone, some on like the Google Doc. It's kind of a mess out here,
Yeah, it's all
unfortunately.
good.
But I wanted to say, Sean said you're the goat, the one and only Mr. Mason himself. So
Oh, really?
yeah, he said
Okay.
you're the goat, man. He said, and I agree with him. I believe it.
Yeah,
I freaking
Sean's a
believe
good
it, man.
guy.
Yeah, I believe it.
I don't know if he's always right about who's the goat or not, but I like him.
Who you think is the goat of LSM?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could put that out there, but
Nah.
I'll take the
Put you on
compliment though.
spot, huh?
I'll take the compliment. Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to, just for the episode, just doing a little bit of reminiscing about our lives, video games, stuff like that, the past.
Sure.
Wanted to talk about the state of the industry just a little bit. I know you talk about Sea of Thieves a lot, so I don't want you to feel like, ah, shit, here we go again. When
Yeah, yeah.
Sea of Thieves, but I am gonna mention it a little bit.
Sure.
I want to talk about the games we are playing, and then the games we're looking forward to. And how does that sound?
That sounds great, man. Yeah.
All right,
let's
all right.
Get into it.
But for all of my guests that I have on, I do have an optional warm-up question. If you
Okay.
want to take it or leave it,
Okay.
are you taking it or leaving it?
I'll take it. Why
You're
not?
taking awesome. All right. So the optional warm-up question is, what is a game you miss most from the past, and would you want it to come back?
Mm. Like a game series or just like a specific game that they like put out again on a new system?
I would say let's do a game, like a specific game.
Okay. I would really like to see like I was a big Duke Nukem fan back in the day. I talk about Duke a lot, but because I love like old school boomer shooters and stuff. I think if they could revitalize it and like erase Duke Nukem forever from everyone's memories and bring back the character, make it, I know they'd have to adjust it a little bit for modern sensibilities, or maybe they don't. But I think that's a really good formula. Like, it was a good character. It was a great gameplay style. Like, if they could just bring that back in a sequel that wasn't total garbage. Because Duke Nukem Forever was just an abomination of everything that I loved about the series. So, yeah.
You
make
literally
it again,
can pick up
better.
Shit, right? You literally can pick up shit out of a toilet.
I think so. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only ever played that game like once or twice. And it was like back when it came out. But yeah, I mean, it's part of the legacy, unfortunately. But.
Yeah. So you've actually completed it, though?
Yeah, I did complete it back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, I had to. I was looking forward to it for like, 30 years or no, it wasn't really 30 years, but it was,
like
forever
15,
in development.
Right? Or something.
It was something crazy like that. Yeah.
That was one of those games where it was like in oblivion for a long time.
Development hell, I guess.
Yeah, development
call
hell.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was made by Gearbox, right?
Yeah, they own the rights to it for sure. I don't remember which studio actually made it.
Yeah.
But Gearbox definitely published it.
That was definitely a fumble for sure.
Yeah.
Who would you want? Who would you want to be the developer for this new Duke Nukem game?
I would love to send it back to. Well, I don't really know who all their developers are right now, but
it could be anyone. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, Apogee, the company that originally owned it, that was originally called 3D Realms. A different company is called 3D Realms now, but they've been putting out a lot of like good boomer shooters lately, and I think that would be a really cool step. And then, I mean, the people who made Ion Fury, I don't know if you remember that game that came out a little while ago. Void Point was the developer on that, and they did a great job with it. It's basically a spiritual successor to Duke Nukem. Okay. So if they could make another game that's in that same style and put it out, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, sick, cool.
Yeah.
So Duke Nukem, huh?
Duke Nukem. I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great answer. You want to hear what I got?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I love. As you can tell, I'm a Nintendo kid. I already mentioned fucking Pokemon, right? And I forgot to mention you can cuss and stuff, so you don't got to filter yourself. But sure. I love like 3D platformers like the most, and I really liked Sly, like its blend of like kind of stealth gameplay and like 3D platforming. I really liked that because it was unique in my opinion, Yeah. And I would just want Sucker Punch to do it because I feel like, it's theirs.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
At this point, I think they've moved on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think so too. I don't know if it's ever coming back, and if it ever does, it'll break the internet, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would love it, but PlayStation's it's in an odd place right now. They don't seem like they want to go back to like games like that, But those games don't sell. The only games that sell that are like 3D platformers are the like Mario games, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like no one does it. Like that's why Xbox hasn't brought back Banjo because it's like they don't know who's gonna play it.
Right. I think a little while ago they even talked about that. Like they wanted to bring it back, but they weren't really sure that it would have a modern audience.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. Nostalgia does a lot. People will buy games just for nostalgia. So
exactly. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, well, that was the optional warm-up question.
Okay.
We're just going to go into the segment number 1. We got a dichotomy of our lives from the past to our present. Like I said, my idea for this was just to like talk about, the differences of our lives. And side note, I do not want to make you, I don't want to be ageist here. I don't want to make you feel old. That was not my intentions.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
But I know like you've lived more life than me. So I know like I can be like more of a sponge in this conversation.
Sure.
Let's start with video games.
Okay.
The first question I have is, have your gaming habits changed from when you first got into video games?
Yeah. I would definitely say they have. I don't know in what way because I started playing games. Like I remember my earliest memory of playing a video game. I know the house we lived in, and I think the latest I lived there, I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Hmm.
So I like have little vague memories, of course, of playing, Super Mario with my cousin, and of course my habits are much different than that now. But you go back. I probably go back like 10, 20 years, even 10, 15 years, I say, and I was probably more like what people would define as a casual gamer,
Hmm.
in college and stuff, where not that I played games casually, but just that I was more interested in like the big AAA releases all the
Hmm.
time. I played a lot of Call of Duty constantly, and I still play some Call of Duty here and there.
This
But
was like the PS3 360 gen.
yeah, I'd say in that gen, I probably would fall more into that category where I was playing more like big titles and wasn't
Mhm.
really into like the more either indie games or the more like heady thinking games
Yeah.
that have come out. I was interested in first person shooters and games like Borderlands and stuff like that, where I was probably just playing more like mass market stuff.
Hmm.
And I'd say now, I definitely play a lot more of a variety, a lot more things that are. Yeah, I still play AAA stuff and everything, but I'll play a lot more indies. I'll play a lot more. Survival crafting is one of my favorite genres, and
Yeah.
like that is almost exclusively not AAA. Like they're
Yeah.
almost all like early access indie janky games. So it's changed in that way, and then also just like the fact that I have I have a family now, so playing games with my kids from time to time,
Mhm.
and having to set aside time that I've got a job and I've got a family and I've got responsibilities around my community and stuff like that. That your gaming habits change. So I play a
Yeah.
lot of games in the middle of the night now because I don't.
You
I don't-
sacrifice some sleep, huh?
I sacrifice sleep in order to play games because I got stuff to do during the day typically. Yeah.
Me too, man. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is,
It is what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, side note, what platform did you start on? Was it PC?
No, I think my dad had and because I was born in '88,
Oh, okay.
so my dad had a Nintendo, like an original
Oh, okay.
Nintendo, and that's the first system I remember playing on for sure.
Okay, so
And
you're
then-
a Nintendo kid too, pretty much.
Yeah, I for sure was up until. See, I think I played a Sega at my buddy's house and ended up like, and I was there like all the time. So I
Mhm.
played a lot of Sega, but I never owned a Sega until, my late teen years probably.
Hmm.
And then,
I never got to own a Sega.
yeah, there's still time. You could buy one. You could pick one up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I
My
think
first,
I think they got out of the console market in 1999, right?
that sounds right. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the
and
exact
I was
year,
born
but
in 1999, so
yeah. Yeah.
so it's just yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, and then I had a Super Nintendo, and I remember getting a PlayStation one year for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Like the year it came out, I want to say, which I never understood how we did because it wasn't like we weren't super wealthy or anything. So
Mhm.
just my parents being able to make that happen was cool. So, and that was a PlayStation. I mean, I always had all the consoles. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't always have them when they released, but I
Yeah.
had them eventually. And a lot of times I would get them either secondhand or buy them from a friend or luck into them through please put 2 Christmases and 2 birthdays together and get me
Yeah.
this or whatever, So I played PlayStation and I got into Xbox. Things kind of switched depending on the generation it was in, but
Mhm.
now I'm mostly I'd say I got into PC gaming in the mid 90s,
Oh wow. Early
and
still.
and then got out of it not out of it. I just didn't have a full PC setup until probably going on like 7 or 8 years ago when I got back into PC gaming.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. That's very much like me. I
Yeah.
started off on Nintendo, but I didn't look at all the other platforms as like rivals. I didn't say like I don't want to go on Xbox or I don't want to go on PlayStation. I was just seeing the games that were on there. I'm like, oh, I want to play them. Like I
Yeah.
don't care where they're at. Like I just want to play it. And
Right.
I know my family probably hated that because then they had to buy me a bunch of new
Right.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah, that's the tough part about being console agnostic is that then you end up buying all the consoles.
exactly, yeah. End up wasting a lot of money. Well, it's not really a waste because I think that games value don't like depreciate as much as people think they do, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense. Like,
Well, they might depreciate as far as like you buy a game for $70 and in 3 months it's on sale for 20,
yeah,
but they don't depreciate as far as my enjoyment of them.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And especially for like older games, like even like PS3 and 360 games now, some of those games are already like rare. Like you can't find
Yeah.
some of them, you know? So
Right.
it's like in that aspect, they appreciate and value, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the memories, you know, the memories that you have with them.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, you have like a relationship with the consoles and stuff that
Hmm.
we're on. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I always say like, if I put myself in front of anyone that plays video games, I feel like I could connect with them. You know,
Sure.
like I say
Yeah.
that to everyone. But that's cool. That's so
Yeah.
you're just been like agnostic, huh? You just played on everything.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been much of a. I've never had much of a foot in the console war race.
Hmm.
Of course, there's always things I prefer over one system or another, but
Yeah.
I've never really been like, I'm not playing that because it's on this system.
Mm.
If I want to play it, I'll figure out a way to play it, even if I got to rent it or something.
Yeah,
Back in the day when you could rent games, can't really do that anymore, I guess.
for sure, for sure. Yeah. It's cool. That's cool. Yeah, my gaming habits haven't really changed. Like even now, I still just I just play whatever I gravitate towards, and then I'm really notorious for dropping games. Even back when I was a
Mm.
kid, like I would play games to a point. If I get annoyed with it, I would just drop it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in that aspect, I think like I really appreciate. I'm throwing in trophies and achievements right now, but I really appreciate that like trophy and achievement game, you know,
Mhm.
and that came from that PS3 and 360 gen.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really cared much about trophies or achievements. I mean,
Okay.
I'm the kind of guy who I'll play a game, and if I get to the end of it,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'll look at all the trophies ahead of time, but it's not like I'm trying to to get them all. But
You've gotten
If
some
I-
platinums recently, haven't you?
yeah, for sure. But typically, it's like if I get to the end of a game and I love it so much that I want to keep playing,
Uh-huh.
then I look at that as like free DLC, basically. That's like, okay, well, I can go and do this. Like, I think Spider-Man 2 was the most recent one I probably got,
Mm.
and
It's very easy
I-
platinum, though, I would say.
It
like,
is,
very
yeah.
simple.
but I got done with the game and I was like, man, I want to keep swinging around.
Yeah.
So I just looked to see what the trophies were and then went and did them and
Mhm.
got the platinum because I wanted to keep playing the game. But it's never been like I won't play this game unless there's a platinum kind of thing. I've never understood that mindset.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
and Insomniac games are like really straightforward most of the times for the platinums. Even Ratchet and Clank,
Yeah.
Rift Apart's platinum, that's really easy to just stumble upon it. Like you
Yeah.
don't even really
Yeah.
need to try that hard to go out and get it.
Right.
But I appreciate trophies and achievements. I know some people, they just look at it as a collectible, and then some people like they roll their eyes when they like bring it up. It's like, oh, I got 500 platinums or whatever. But
Right.
in my opinion, I like it because it does keep a record of what you've played,
Sure.
and it's
yeah.
also like it keeps kind of like how much time you've spent in it as well.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's really nice to go back to and see, and like even like see all the games you haven't like completed. You can like
Yeah.
you can maybe like while you're looking at your list be like, oh, this is a game that I want to go back to, or this is a game that I don't ever want to go back to and stuff. And it's a good
Right.
like recollection of all the games you've played.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
Yeah. Now you play. You still play a lot of multiplayer games, right? Like you play Sea of Thieves. That's multiplayer.
Yeah. I definitely play multiplayer games. I probably have been leaning more away from, not that intentionally, but just like I've been finding more games that are not multiplayer lately, more entertaining. And not to say they're not multiplayer. I still like to play with friends, but they're not like competitive multiplayer typically.
Got it.
So I used to be like big into like Call of Duty and Apex and stuff like that. And now I'm like, well, I'm happy to play a game that's co-op
Mhm.
more so.
yeah.
yeah.
No, it's fun working together. You know.
Mhm. Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
experiencing that literally last night. I was streaming with my boy. He's moving for some school stuff, but we were playing Mario Kart. We were hella competitive, and then I
Yeah.
was like, "Let's play some Donkey Kong." And then I
Yeah.
just threw in some Tropical Freeze, and like now we're like working together and stuff. It's
Right.
fun, you know. It brings people
Yeah.
together at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, and I like that a lot of people who aren't in the gaming space don't really understand this, but for me, multiplayer gaming, co-op gaming is more about like, yeah, we're playing a game and that's what we're ultimately doing, but like the real thing I'm interested in is the hangout. Like I want to my friends, especially since I have friends all over the country and the internet makes that easier than ever,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have like, I'm not going to go over to somebody. It's not like the old days. I'm not going over to somebody's house. I've got kids. They've got kids. And we're not going to get together and play till 3 a.m. on their GameCube in the living room. You know, like now it's okay. Well, everybody's in bed. I'm done with work for the day. I'm going to sit down and play. You know, right now I'm playing Elden Ring co-op with a couple buddies of mine.
It's a great co-op
game.
game.
Mod. So yeah, absolutely.
On PC, huh?
Yeah, on PC. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, then exactly. It brings people together. That's
right.
That's what I try to tell my mom, because she's unfortunately I'm kind of calling out my mom here, but she's like culprit number one, telling me to stop playing video games.
Yeah.
And I try to tell her like first of all, like, you don't go up to people. Like, I have two sisters. Like, she doesn't go up to my sisters and tell them to stop watching movies or stop watching
Right.
TV shows, or
Right.
she doesn't tell them to stop being on their phones and stuff, you know.
Right.
And like I tell her secondary, like it's way more of an involved medium. Like,
Mhm.
you can't just passively do it. You have to be active. You're engaging your senses, you know.
Yep. Exactly.
And that in my opinion, that makes it just better than those forms of media. But that's just
Yeah.
my bias, though, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can intentionally watch things and listen to things and like get something out of it. But I think you're right. They're more passive mediums.
Yeah.
Video games matter more in that way, that you're involved in them and you care about them, and you're making the things happen that are happening. And I think as long, you know, my stance is, as long as you got all your responsibilities done and you're not neglecting anybody or anything that needs done, play as many video games as you want.
Exactly.
You know, as long as you're a contributing member to society, it's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah,
even
facts.
if it is just junk food games, whatever. We all need hobbies.
Yeah, and then I even think like sometimes you gotta play like a shitty game here and there to like cleanse your palate, you know? Like you gotta play a Forspoken, or you gotta play like a fucking, maybe not Gollum. Maybe that's too shitty, I think.
That's too bad. Yeah, I think that crosses the line for sure.
But yeah, like a mid game, you know, like a 50-60 sometimes, just to like Exoprimal, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I actually like that game.
I played it like 2 or 3 nights, I think, total, because it was on Game Pass and I didn't have to, you know, actually pay for it in my subscription. And I had fun with it. I didn't want to keep playing it, but I had fun with it. But again, I had fun with it because I was playing with friends, not because it was a good game.
Yeah. It was an interesting game. Like, it kind of blended like Overwatch elements into like a third person horror type of game. It was cool. I actually kind of gleaned a lot from it, but yeah. I guess we can move on to the next question before we go back to the games later on.
Sure.
How has your like consumer sensibilities changed? Like your purchasing, like how you purchase things changed from like the past to now?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to think of in what ways. I mean, obviously having a mortgage and a family and all that kind of stuff. Like, I can't just buy anything I want whenever I want to. I still try to get into most things that I'm interested in, but it's definitely, I got to be a little bit more selective now than I used to be. And I would say that like I'm more apt to look for deals, even if I don't find them. I'm more apt to like look for a buy one get one, or buy Target a lot of times has buy two get one free kind of thing. So I'm more interested in doing that kind of thing. And then I'm also like, I'm a little more choosy with like subscription services. You know, I have Game Pass for a long time because I bought like a couple of years of it when it was on discount or something, but I'm not afraid to like switch on and off of subscription services if I'm using them, or just not have one if I'm, especially, we're talking about video games, but even in like, I canceled Netflix earlier last year for the first time, literally since like, I've had Netflix since they like a year or two after they started mass production on DVDs, sending them out. And so I finally I was like, I'm not using this all the time. Why do I need it? If there's something I want to watch, I'll hop in for a month. So yeah, I would definitely say that, mostly like in the financial economic way, my sensibilities have changed in that respect, as I've just had to be more, I shouldn't say careful, but like manage my money, actually. Pay attention to it. Yeah.
For sure. I think I'm.
Is that kind of what you were getting at?
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Right.
Yeah. I'm kind of like that too. I used to just order a lot more, but like now I am trying to be like picky and choosing. Like what I want.
There's just so much out there. I want to play. Like I see almost every game, and I'm like, I kind of want to try that out.
Yeah.
I don't always actually want to play the whole thing, you know, but
But that's why Games Pass is so good, right?
That's true. Absolutely.
And that's why it's so funny to me. Like, I don't know if this is such a side note, but the discourse right now is fucking cooked. Like, people are so like just so all over the place right now. It's so weird, but but it's like Games Pass is still a good product, you know. It's still a good service. So it's like, anyways. But I just love Games Pass because it just allows me to try games that I just wouldn't have bought, you know. And then that's the only thing that I really say to people, and like people still call me a fanboy for that. Like that's all I say is that it brings like value, like for the everyday consumer, like not for the enthusiasts, like for the everyday consumer, it brings a little bit more value because most of those people do just play like the sports games or just like some shooters here and there, you know. And yeah, but my consumer sensibilities have changed in a sense that like I definitely do also go out and buy what I want now instead of like ordering it online. Like I actually physically try to drive to places and get it.
Yeah.
For food too. I feel like that saves you money.
Yeah. I've got some friends who will just like order DoorDash and stuff all the time. And I'm like, you realize you're paying like 40% more than you got to be paying right now. But,
exactly.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah. I try to tell them the same thing. Like, but sometimes sometimes they just can't do it, you know. Sometimes it's just like it's just necessity.
Oh, so. Sometimes it's convenient, or you know, we only have I work from home and everything, and we only have one car. So like my wife's out and I'm hungry and we don't have anything in the house. I'll get it. It's just like that's not my go-to all the time, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. We're about to wrap up this first segment. Life, work. Any last thoughts on this reminiscing little period we're going on?
No, I don't really think so. I mean, you know, obviously life changes, and sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. But I try to, whatever I'm doing, whatever I've got going on. It doesn't always happen, but I try to make time for at least like a little bit of gaming every day.
Yeah.
Even if I got to pop up on something on my phone, even though as much as I hate that, it's better than nothing, I guess. But you know, yeah. So it doesn't always happen, but when it happens, it's good. I like to at least stay in that, like keep not really care about skills, but like, you know, keep my mind sharp. I feel like I'm most relaxed when I'm playing a game, even if it's a difficult game. I like to be in that world. So
immersed in something else other than like what you got going on, you know?
Step away from reality for a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel too. Like when I go like 3 or 4 days without playing something, I kind of go like a little kooky. I kind of go a little crazy. Like it's bad to be honest. Like I need to like play something, you know, like relax a little bit, immerse myself out of my like reality and into something else. I think that's the best thing that games provide.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. For every guest that I have, I give them a segment. So you can consider this block of time Ben's segment if you have anything to like specifically to talk about. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I don't remember if you had it in there, but I just wanted to get your ideas, and then I can also chime in, of course.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole right now? What's going on in the industry with, you know, the potential of like Xbox bringing a bunch of their games over to other platforms, and you know, maybe Game Pass even moving over to other platforms? Like that's kind of an industry shift entirely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I honestly think that it is true that Xbox, the player base on the consoles, they don't really buy games. Like I honestly think that's true. So that's why that Games Pass pivot was like right for them at the time. Yeah, that's huge. Mm-hmm. And I think, because like Hi-Fi Rush is going to come to the other platforms. Sea of Thieves is going to come to other platforms and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's the smart move to bring in more players for those games. And I think Colin said it best specifically for Hi-Fi, because he says something like, you know, it's a Japanese game, right? Mm-hmm. And like no one in Japan is playing it. Like I wonder how they feel about that.
That's
and like,
true.
And when he said that, like those words like resonated with me, because like I kind of feel the same way with my show, you know? Like I put a lot of time and effort into it, and like when like the people around me maybe aren't like engaging with it, like even I kind of feel some type of way about it too, you know? So it's like I put myself in those shoes, and it's kind of like, like it would be cool to see like the Switch owners and the PlayStation people like play like a good game, because it is a good game. So
Sure.
in my opinion, honestly, it's not as bad as it seems, because like Jez has reported that like they're still making hardware. Like
Right.
they're
Right.
still in the they're still playing the hardware game, I guess you could say. They're just it's I don't know, honestly. It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, granted, I do mostly play on PC at this
Yeah.
point, but
Yeah, me too. I've transitioned into PC Master Race this past week as well.
that's right. I just think playing games on more places is the best thing in my
Exactly.
opinion.
Mhm.
And I understand that, like, there are some people who have been playing on Xbox. They've got a whole digital library on Xbox, and they're worried about it going away and stuff. And I can't wrap my mind around, like, and I mean, I feel for those people, but I can't wrap my mind around being so devoted to a certain color plastic box that I would throw away,
Mhm.
all that. Throw away gaming or throw away my, whatever. So
all your saves, your
Oh, yeah.
achievements, like come
Right.
on, man. Like,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
that's what I think. It's like all your saves are there, and Xbox makes it so easy to like transfer the saves and stuff like that. They even have like even PlayStation 3 and the Vita used to do it, where you buy like one game and you have it on both platforms.
Yeah.
They do that for all of like their games, and then I think even some Sega games have it. Like I believe the newest Yakuza game is like a Play Anywhere title. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Yeah, they do a horrible job at marketing their fucking their features though. It's bad. Like they got so many good features, but it's like zero marketing for it. Like, but I don't care either. Like I don't care that they get the PlayStation players and Nintendo players and all them. Like I don't care that they're getting it. Like if you're asking me personally, because they're great games, and I feel like if those games can finally get their flowers, then at the end of the day, that's a win.
Sure. I would agree. Yeah.
Like
for me, more people playing a game is better than one group of people being able to have it excluded. And I've always felt that way with, I hate whenever people do the timed exclusives and stuff. I'm like, come on. I understand it from a business point of view, but I dislike it from a consumer point of view.
Yeah, it's annoying.
For sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's that is how I pretty much feel. Like it's cool. It's cool at the end of the day. I think the discourse should change from like arguing about platforms to discussing why we love games. I think that's where the discourse should go.
Imagine just having fun.
Yeah,
such a crazy concept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like Hi-Fi Rush is such a good game. It's so unique. And like, why not? Why not have it portable? Why not have it on all platforms?
Right.
What do you well, let's talk about it right now. What do you think about Sea of Thieves going to other platforms?
I think it's great, especially for live service games. And Sea of Thieves, obviously, I like the game, but anything that's live service just only makes sense to me to go multi-platform with it. Mm-hmm. I've never understood, why that would be locked behind a particular box or console. And you need the player base. I mean, it's not even a free-to-play game. Like Sea of Thieves specifically is a game you buy, and then it's live service after that. And I think it was really before the big free-to-play push kind of happened. And maybe if it came out today, it'd be a different story. But a game that you buy or have on Game Pass, and then you play it, and you can spend money if you want, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Go into more platforms. It's the kind of game that also like thrives off of more people playing the game. Yeah, having more people involved, and
all live service games are like that pretty much.
You don't want, and just as an example, you don't want to play Call of Duty and your lobby be empty, right?
Or full of bots.
Or full of bots, right? You want more people playing it so that you have that interaction, that participation. And especially for a game like Sea of Thieves, that in my opinion, I like a lot about the world and stuff, but I really thrive off of the player interactions, the other people interacting together. So that's definitely a good move in my opinion. I don't know why they didn't do it sooner. I mean, I guess technically at this point we don't 100% know if they're going to do it. But the writing's kind of on the wall.
Yeah, I feel like the people that have been talking about, like Tom Warren, Jez, and all these people, like they're pretty credible, So
yep.
Well, they're
Yeah.
not pretty credible. I would say they are credible, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's
Everybody gets
happening.
things wrong occasionally, but
Yeah.
they got a good track record.
And
so.
especially because Xbox hasn't really said anything other than they will speak.
Mhm.
That pretty much just proves it. Like, yeah, something is happening. Like, there is a shift.
Yeah. There are really only two, like, there's either say nothing, which in my opinion a lot of times means there's no credibility to this,
Mm-hmm.
or there's say this isn't true
Okay.
to try to, like, stave off things. But when
Yeah.
you say something like we're going to address it in a couple weeks, what that means to me is it's true, we're just going to give you the details.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to read that other
Yeah,
than
they're
that
just
way.
gonna tell us exactly what they're doing. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully,
To end the speculation and stuff. Yeah, hopefully they do. Hopefully they give
Yeah.
us something
because
concrete.
they have like problem with like telling us like what they're actually doing. It's
Mhm.
it's funny because like PlayStation doesn't speak at all.
Yeah.
Xbox
Right.
Xbox kind of, well, they get leaked a lot more too.
They do get leaked a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, and Nintendo is just off in their own little la la land over there, just
Yeah.
twiddling away on PS3 hardware,
They're immune to
everything.
stuff like that. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's why I say they're number. I say it as a joke, but like I honestly believe it. Like they're low key number one. Like
Yeah,
whatever they
that's
do,
true.
like they don't really get that much criticism for it.
Right.
It's just smooth sailing. People are gonna buy
Even
it.
that last Pokemon game they put out that was
Yeah.
complete garbage still sold millions and millions of copies.
Yeah, literally.
And
like,
people are gonna buy the next one because it's Nintendo and it's Pokemon. You're like, sorry, they're just gonna. They're immune. They've got the magic bullet.
That's funny because I literally seen a take when someone on Twitter said that the game wasn't that bad, and it's like, I think even Maddie thinks it's pretty good if I'm remembering correctly.
I didn't play it, but from what I understand, it's a good game. It's just
Yeah.
full of bugs and like graphical
Frame drops and
nightmare.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gameplay itself is fun though, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon game. Pokemon games are fun, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, freaking Nintendo.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to bring up in this little segment?
No, man. I think I'm good there.
All
yeah. I
right.
just wanted to briefly touch on it.
For sure. Yeah, I don't care whoever gets the games. More people play good games. Let's change the narrative like away from trying to be nitpicky about these games. Yeah, Starfield has a lot of fast travel. It is what it is.
Mhm.
But try to find like the good in it. Like the story
Yeah.
is, at the end of the day, I think the story is like really is pretty solid in that game.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's if you just look at the flaws, then that's all you're gonna see.
Right.
But hopefully, when these games go to the other platforms, people start to at least see the good in the games and stop just being nitpicky.
Yeah. Agreed, man.
All right. Segment number 2, I got. We can talk about the games we've been playing recently.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a little bit more of an open discussion. I'm not going to be asking you questions interview style. Let's just go off tops. Well, what have you been playing recently?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned earlier I've been playing Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And I played Elden Ring when it came out, but only for like 20, 25 hours probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a combination of like, I've never really been a big From gamer. I like their games. I've just never played a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And something else came out that caught my attention. So I moved on. And then recently my buddy was really, really interested in playing again because the mod that had been out for a little while, I think the seamless co-op mod for PC had been kind of gaining some popularity. And he's like, this would be so fun to play the whole game with somebody. And so we hopped in, bought it on PC and hopped into that. And I've been playing that. And he's got hundreds of hours in the game. He's kind of been guiding me through, teaching me the ropes, and I've got like, the timing and the combat necessarily down. But as far as like where to go next, what things to equip, how to actually look at your stats and see how they work together. Like I wasn't really familiar with all that.
Yeah.
So just getting that kind of guide to begin with has been good. Has been really good. I mentioned that I'm really into survival crafting games, and the game Enshrouded came out in early access a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a good bit of it. It's really, I don't know how to describe this any other way. It's still got jank and stuff, but when I say like a lot of survival crafting games feel like an indie survival crafting game, like
Yeah.
an indie like test project, and I
Yeah.
love them still, but there's a certain feel to them.
Yeah,
Where
there's always
Enshrouded,
like a certain jank to them.
yeah, absolutely. And then Shrouded has a jank to it, but there's something about it that feels like a
Triple
I
A?
don't like saying this, but no, it doesn't feel AAA, but it feels like a real video game, if that makes any sense. Like it feels like I'm in a game and it happens to be survival crafting, but it's not a
Mhm.
survival crafting game, even though
Yeah.
it is. It's got like a good story. It's got a good like pathing through it and everything. So I've been playing that, and then
Well, can I ask you a question?
yeah, absolutely.
For someone, because like I actually don't really play. I would say I don't really like survival games.
Yeah,
Just the thought of like having to keep on like feeding yourself, keeping yourself warm and cold and stuff like that, like
sure.
that. But I do like building stuff, and I do like collecting
Yeah.
materials and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
for someone that isn't really into that like whole arc thing, would this be good for them, or is it like a lot like that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Ark necessarily, but
Mhm.
you do have to, there might be options to turn it off, but I just went in vanilla with whatever. But
Okay.
there might be options to turn off the requirement to feed yourself and stuff. But yeah, Enshrouded would have that kind of same thing, where you have to gather resources to
Yeah.
build and gather resources to be able to feed yourself and cook and still eat and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it's still there.
Inherently, it's still a survival game, huh?
It is a survival game for sure, and it's
For sure.
yeah.
I looked at. I was
Definitely.
looking at it on Steam because it came out like pretty close to Power World, right?
It did,
And,
yeah, like a couple days later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which sucks for them because it was
Yeah.
Enshrouded was like at the top of the most requested, like most wish listed charts on
Oh
Steam.
wow.
And then Power World came out and sold like 47 bajillion copies. And I
Yeah.
felt bad. But they've passed I know they passed the 1 million mark in like 4 days.
Yeah, I seen it
Which
had a
is
lot
great
of.
for a small game.
It had a lot of user reviews, so
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of people are still trying it out and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it looked good. Like graphically, I would say it looks pretty like modern.
Yes, absolutely.
Because even Power World is like it's on Unreal 5, but it doesn't really. It still looks like
Right.
kind of like a PS3 game to me.
Yeah.
But
I have been playing Power World
wow.
a little bit, not like a ton. And I'm just talking about like since we've never talked before. I'm just
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
of
like in the
course.
last month games I've played, probably
Mhm.
more than like last week. But
Yeah.
I did play Power World. I probably got like I don't know 8 or 10 hours into it, and I really like it. I care a lot less about the Pokemon aspect as I do about the survival crafting aspect
Yeah.
because it's really just there to be the system or the game seller. Not it is an integral part of the game for sure,
Yeah.
but it's fun. I don't have a lot to say about it because I haven't really got that deep into it, but
Mhm.
I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, the one crafting or the survival game that I've actually really wanted to play, but I don't really play with friends that often, but I do have some games that I play with friends like Call of Duty and stuff, but I really want to play Grounded. Like that game looks like
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like that's the most unique one in my opinion. 'Cause
yeah.
it's like your miniature.
I tried to play that game 2 different times,
Mm,
but they were both before the game actually released, like in 1.0.
got it.
So I should go back to it and check it out because I do love, survival crafting. But for
Yeah.
whatever reason, Grounded just didn't quite click with me.
Mm,
But it was also pretty early on after it came out in early access or
Yeah.
whatever they call that program with Xbox.
mhm.
Yeah.
And like you described with Elden Ring, I feel like I would need someone to hold my hand while
Yeah.
playing. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just. It's too daunting when you just get thrown into a world. It's like do whatever you want to do. Like I need
Yeah.
my hand held just a little bit.
Right. I understand that for sure. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. You've been playing any like single player games?
Yeah. So Prince of Persia, The
Okay.
Lost Crown.
Okay.
I've been playing that. I've only been playing it for a couple days. That's the
Mm.
most recent thing I've really been playing.
Yeah.
And man, I really like it. I'm surprised because I played Sands of Time like way back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't really expecting this game to be much of anything. And then it got some good reviews, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's a 2D, it's kind of platformer, kind of action adventure, whatever you want to call it, but it's got way more depth to it than I was thinking. It's a little bit of roguelike to some extent, Metroidvania to another extent. Like you got to do some backtracking when you get new abilities and everything. And it's kind of funny because it has that, I know every game has it now, but that From Software kind of gameplay where You find a bonfire and you rest, and then the enemies regenerate and you get your health back. Except that's a tree in this one, and it's surprisingly got a good bit of difficulty to it. A lot of timing based stuff. It's got a decent story, which I wasn't really expecting from this game for some reason. So I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I think I'll probably wrap it up in the next couple of days because it's not that long of a game, I don't think. But I'm also, when it comes to puzzly stuff or, having to do backtracking and keep track, I'm not terribly smart in that area.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of trial and error for me. So it might take me a little while.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing is Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake to get ready for Rebirth. And then casually, I'm playing it on Steam Deck. I'm casually playing like Crisis Core. Okay. Because I know it's not that long and I've got a long time
The new one, right? The
Reunion one. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
I don't have much to say about that.
Okay.
But I've never played... I played Final Fantasy VII back in the day a lot, but I never played Crisis Core. So I'm dipping my toes into that a little bit at the time for right now.
Yeah, I played Reunion last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting ready for Rebirth as well. But I kind of had this thing where I can't play the same series in succession or else I'll get burnt out on it.
I understand that. Yeah, absolutely.
Like the first series that I really truly did that with was Yakuza. Like back in I think 2018 or 19, I played 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2 back to back to back.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
then
a lot of Yakuza.
Yeah, and then literally like I think the year after they released like 3, 4, and 5 like remaster. And then I tried 3 and I was like, I already feel like kind of burnt out.
Right.
So it took me like a year or two later, and then I just jumped into Like a Dragon. I was like fuck Kiryu for now. It's fine. I'll get to a story later, right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I am. So I played Remake in 2020. Oh no, I'm sorry. I played Remake in 2021.
Okay.
And then I played Reunion last year, and then now I'm getting ready for Rebirth.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
It's only a couple weeks left.
Dude, it's that I've seen Gene freaking tweet about it. Like he said like he regret watching that direct that came out. And I'm so happy that I'm on media like blackout for stuff like that.
I didn't watch it either.
Because I know Square.
Actually, don't tell Gene this. I mean, maybe he'll find out. But
I don't talk to
whenever a game's coming out that I know he has that I want to check out, I mute Gene on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't mute him in our staff Discord. But I'm always worried he's going to spoil something for me. Dude doesn't have a filter.
Yeah, no, he don't. Yeah. He don't. And he still gets access to games, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's Washington Post. He's a great journalist and obviously a huge institution. But yeah, I give him a hard time behind the scenes. I'm like, dude, you really gonna spoil The Last of Us Part 2 on this show right now? Like, is that what you're gonna do? I know it's been out for 4 years, but there's people who haven't played it, dude. Come on. I don't know. I know not everybody is, and I'm kind of a baby about it.
Was that on Summon Sign? Or
that was on Summon Sign? Yeah. I'm really sensitive to spoilers, so I feel for other people. Yeah.
Me too, man.
I feel for other people when stuff gets spoiled that they haven't experienced yet. So.
Can I tell you what I got spoiled recently?
Yeah, sure.
So, The Last Ronin, the TMNT book?
I did too.
Yeah. Oh, you did too?
You know how I did? Because Colin mentioned it on Sacred Symbols when I was editing the shows, and I had to edit it out. But I got spoiled. I had literally ordered the book and got it that morning in the mail and was about to start reading it.
I have it on my desk.
And he spoiled it for me, and so I put it down and didn't read it for like 3 more months.
That's crazy.
But, yeah.
It was a coworker for you, huh? It was a coworker for me too, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally the same thing. I bought the book. It was coming that day. I was talking about it at work, and then a coworker that they don't work there no more, and they also didn't really like me, but they walked by, mentioned it, they told me who it was, and I was all like, damn.
Yeah.
Like literally sucked the soul out of my life. Pause.
I know, man. I know.
It was unfortunate. And I also got Last of Us 2 spoiled for me, but that was because I don't know why I looked into the YouTube comments of one of the. It wasn't like, I don't think it was even like Last End. It was just like some like trailer or something. It was some random shit.
People were just spoiling it everywhere, man.
Yeah, it was annoying. I was like, damn, like I didn't want to know that.
Yeah.
I hate spoilers, but
I know, me too. Yeah, me too. I'm like overly sensitive with them. Not necessarily for myself, but if there's something that I'm like, I don't know, like don't spoil Final Fantasy VII the original because the new one's coming out and people who weren't born when the original came out are playing the new one.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a lot of differences in them, but
Yeah.
you know, like stuff like that where I'm like a lot of people wouldn't think twice about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it happened to me with a TV show. I can't remember what it was. But there was something that I was watching that was like 15 years old, and somebody like mentioned it on something. It wasn't LSM related,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody mentioned it. And I was like, that's not even like one of those, like, you know, when somebody tells you that about the Sixth Sense, the spoiler in the Sixth Sense, that's culturally like everywhere.
Yeah.
When somebody tells you that you know Darth Vader is Luke's father, that's
Yeah.
everywhere already.
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler, but like this was like one of those TV shows that was like niche,
Mhm.
and I was like, really? I just happen to be watching this, and you're going to spoil that random show anyway.
Yeah.
No, I don't like spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers, they fucking suck. It's like, let
Yeah.
me experience the joy or the sadness or whatever
Right.
feeling that I'm gonna get from it. Let me enjoy it for myself, please. Like,
Yeah.
like they even, I'm not gonna say who's the playable character. They even posted a tweet, Square Enix, for
Mhm.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. They posted a tweet saying like, oh, you can play blah 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 and blah blah blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? I don't want to know that. I don't want to know
Right.
that. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I guess that's a selling point. I guess, you know,
Yeah.
they don't. A lot of times, too, the marketing people aren't connected to the gaming people necessarily, you know? So, like,
In case with the
they
Xbox
just pick up on
people.
the bullet points and,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but Square is notorious for just fucking giving away their for everything. Even for
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, they literally showed like every single planet, every single world that you're gonna be on.
Yeah.
They're just really bad at it for some reason. Some publishers are good at it. I would say Sony used to be good at it. Now they're starting to show off a lot of their games, like a little
Yeah.
too much in my opinion.
I will say with, I won't say what it was, but with God of War 2018,
Yeah.
there's a big like moment in that for a lot of people was like very, you know, nostalgic, and they did a good job of not spoiling that until like the sequel was coming out, and then they did, which
Yeah.
I guess at that point it's kind of acceptable because you're showing the sequel. So
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
sequel you got the weapon right off the bat, so
right.
you're talking about the weapon, right? The weapon moment.
I am, yeah,
For sure,
yeah, the
for
weapon
sure.
moment, yeah. Yeah.
No, the God of War. We're jumping all over the place.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. You're seasoned.
Yeah.
You're used to it.
Yeah.
So Elden Ring, you think you're gonna stick through with it? You think you're gonna play it
Yeah.
completely?
We're getting pretty close to the end of it. Of course, there's so much to do in that game and so many
Yeah.
different things, whatever.
Hundreds of hours of gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, as far as like a full all the bosses playthrough and a lot of mini bosses and side bosses, that we'll definitely get it done.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll finish it right around the time the DLC launches, and then we can jump into that too. That'd be nice.
When you think the DLC is coming out, March 22nd?
I don't know, man. I have no reason to really. I don't really know, but I just know that everybody's talking about it being like either into this month an announcement or next month coming out. So we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
It'll probably be right on top of another thing that Sony is gonna have out. Yeah.
Yeah, Rise of the Ronin and Horizon 2 on PC.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I hope it's not that day because everyone's probably gonna play Elden Ring instead.
Oh man. Yeah.
But,
there's no way that they won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
freaking Elden Ring. From Software's on their game right now. They're on their I feel like they're at the top of their like craft, like they're peaking in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the games that you are looking forward to, my friend?
Oh man. Well, I'm really looking forward to Rebirth.
Yeah.
Of course. And
Digitally or physically? Which one are you gonna get?
oh, physical is always my option, my choice. Yeah. Yeah. I
3
always
discs.
go physical if I can.
I want
I'm not
those 3
like.
discs.
Oh, I know. I'm not like if something's only available digitally and I want to play it, I'll still get it digitally.
Okay.
But I know there's some people who like won't play a game if it's not physical.
Yeah.
And I'm not that guy. But I always prefer physical if I can. And I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. I'm
Yeah.
fully aware of that, but that's just what I like. That's how I've been. And I mean, I play on PC, so obviously I'm not.
Yeah. No physical on there really.
No, there's no. I mean, very rarely are you finding something physical.
Yeah,
on
and
PC.
if there is just like a code, right, and you'll get like a
Yeah.
box.
Right. And I think like the Baldur's Gate physical edition that they came out with, I think that it even was like a it was like an install disc,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had a code to get the rest of the game, and I was like, I don't I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else is even coming up, man. I'm
What else?
drawing a
Oh,
blank here. I'm looking at the list.
Yeah, I actually have a spreadsheet. Oh, there's Dragon's Dogma 2. There's Rise of the Ronin. There's Stellar Blade.
I'm definitely looking forward to Stellar Blade.
Hellblade.
Absolutely.
There's 2 blades up in there.
Hellblade. Yep.
There's those games. Let me look at my spreadsheet real quick. Because I made a spreadsheet of the games that I was that I'm like looking forward to this year, just to gauge. But there's not that many dates.
Helldivers is coming out tomorrow as we're recording this.
I'm gonna be on that.
I'm gonna play it. I'm not. I haven't bothered anything yet. I'm probably gonna get it on PC.
Me too.
It seems like a PC game to me. And then Stellar Blade. I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff that doesn't have dates announced. Like Wolverine. That could be 2 years from now for all we know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Star Wars Outlaws is another one, but again, we don't really know when that one's coming. There's so much right now that I have to play that I feel like I'm not really thinking that far ahead about what's coming next.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I am too, low-key. Yeah. Like I have like a few games that I'm looking forward to. Like that's why when I seen Hellblade was like short, I was like, yes, like thank you. Please don't take up my whole fucking life. Like Cause just throwing back to God of War, like I feel like that Ragnarok was too long in my opinion. Like it is a little bloated. So it's like I feel like if we can get back to a point where games have better pacing, that'd be cool. Because I have been playing a lot of games recently that are of like the PS3 360 like era. Like right now I still am on DMC Devil May Cry, the one that Ninja Theory played. Made. I'm sorry. So I'm playing that. I think I'm on like chapter 10 or whatever. It's goofy, but it's fun, you know. Sure. I played Sleeping Dogs like a little bit ago. That's another one of those PS3 360 gen games. I tried Dragon's Dogma on my PC recently.
Oh, nice.
So it's like I've been playing a lot of games of that era, and yeah, the graphics are like a little dated, but I just feel like they just got the pacing right, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. I understand that for sure.
But I have some more games. Are you looking forward to Princess Peach Showtime?
You know what? I haven't actually seen that much about it, but
it's supposed to come out the same day as Dragon's Dogma and all those other games.
Yeah. As a self-proclaimed Nintendo fanboy still, even though I'm not as hardcore on like playing all the Nintendo games.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll check it out, but it's not like one I'm like, oh, I can't wait, you know?
Yeah. I'm interested in it too, for sure.
Yeah. If for no other reason, the fact that it's the first one of its kind, you know? Yeah.
It's like it's
first
still
like Princess Peach. Mario game, but it's not, you know, it's Princess Peach.
Yeah, no, it's cool that they're at least trying to do something new with that. But that's why I also like Nintendo, you know, even though their like hardware is a little dated, they still innovate in ways, you know. They don't see that as a limit. They don't see the hardware as a limit in a way.
Right. Yeah. For better or for worse, they don't see it as a limit.
Yeah. Speaking of Nintendo, the Switch 2 is probably going to come out this year. Super Switch, whatever it's going to be called. What do you think it's going to be called?
I don't know. Nintendo's not very good with their naming conventions. You know, they were like, hey, here's the Wii, also the Wii U. Yeah. And I was like, why? And then there was the 3DS. And then they were like, well, let's make this next one the 3DS XL. Yeah. Let's make this next one the new 3DS. Let's make this next one the 2DS.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get your names together, man. Come on. They're not. Xbox. The only people that's worse than naming games than systems than Xbox is Nintendo. So
yeah,
I don't know. Switch 2 wouldn't surprise me. Super Switch is the one that people have tossed around there, but I have a feeling it'll be just something simple like Switch 2, or better yet, they're going to name it like we all think it's a new system. It's just going to be the same system, and they're just going to call it the Switch.
Yeah, it's going to be an upgraded Switch.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it's not. I say like they name their systems off of like the gimmick, I would say. And if the gimmick is still just going to be that it switches between portable and handheld, then they probably will just call it the Switch 2 or Super Switch or something like that. Yeah. But Nintendo's
about their...
Oh, go ahead.
Think about their game systems like in the 90s. Like you had the Nintendo 64 because there were 64 bits. And then you had the GameCube because it was a cube that you played games on. Like they're not real creative when it
No,
comes
they're not.
to system names. So, but they sell a lot of them, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, for sure. And as long as they don't confuse consumers, I would
Yeah.
say that they'll be fine because the Wii U definitely did confuse consumers.
It did. Yeah.
Because,
Confused me for sure. Yeah. Why does
Yeah.
this exist?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I self-proclaim myself as the fucking avatar,
Yeah.
as the master of all elements. So I try to play as much as I can, but I do
Yeah.
enjoy playing a lot of different types of games, even if I'm not good at them. Like
Yeah.
I do enjoy like learning the language of the game, as
Sure.
you could say, you know,
Mhm.
because like I don't play a lot of strategy games, but like previously or like in the past year I played Age of Empires 4, you know, shout out to Games Pass.
Yeah.
But you know, I was playing
Yeah.
it with my boy Julian, and that's another one where he held my hand while playing it. And like
Sure.
I was really like starting to like understand it. And then that's the thing with games. It's like you shouldn't look at them as in like, oh, like I don't want to play them because, you know, they're bad or blah blah blah. Like looking at them super like surface level. Like
Yeah.
every game has like a language that they're trying to like teach you, and if you get it, then you're gonna start like getting into the gameplay loop, and you'll start actually enjoying it. You know?
Think about how many people thought that Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't going to be for them, and then they ended up loving it and spending a couple
Exactly.
hundred hours in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to be open to stuff. I
Exactly.
mean, there's some games, don't get me wrong, like there's some games out there that I'm like, no, I'm not going to play that. But
Yeah.
very few games like that for me.
Yeah, exactly. Helldivers 2, yeah, I'm actually super like curious about it, and it's crazy that there's no like reviews or anything out about it yet. You know, like they're keeping
Yeah.
super tight-lipped about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I assume the servers weren't on probably since it's an
Mm.
always online game, but that's just a guess. I mean, that we saw that recently with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
That's the case with Helldivers. There's something else that's coming out this week that I don't think has review this week or next week that doesn't have reviews out because of servers. So
Okay.
yeah, I know some games will turn on the servers early, like Diablo 4.
Yeah.
They turned on the servers early just for reviewers to be able to play, but it kind of sucks if they don't. But I get it at the same time. It's only so much you can do.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that makes sense. But yeah, I was just mainly just curious to see how it performs on PC. That's what
Mhm.
I'm most curious to see for that game.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it'll be fine on console. It'll be consistent on there.
The stats for like the requirements for what you need for it are pretty insane
Oh yeah.
for like max settings. Yeah, if I remember, like they recommend like a higher end card.
Mm.
So I don't have a bad PC. It's just
Yeah.
not great with like it's pretty good for what I use it for, but I need an upgrade. Like
Okay.
there's some stuff.
Are you
when
looking
I'm
at upgrading it?
I am looking at it. Yeah, when I'm rendering files for work and stuff, it's
It's a little slow, huh?
rough. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how it
pretty
was for me. Just literally a week ago, I upgraded from a 3070. I'm on a 4070 Ti Super. I think that's
That's
it
what I'm
is.
looking at actually.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
I have a Gaming X Slim. If you're curious,
Okay.
that's
yeah.
the one it's called. It's I've stress tested it. I've played I've checked out a Plague Tale on it, Halo Infinite, and Starfield, because I wanted to see frame gen specifically.
Yeah.
So a Plague
Yeah.
Tale and Starfield both have frame gen, and I'm on a 4K monitor. I'm on an LG C2. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what my bottleneck was previously with the 3070. I didn't have enough VRAM to run games
Right.
at 4K.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing I was looking at. I wanted to get the Founders Edition of the 4080, but you know the Founders,
Yeah.
you know how that goes.
They're insane. Yeah, they're insane.
Yeah.
I have a 3060 Ti right now, and
Okay.
and it's not bad, of course, but the problem is the VRAM. So especially when it comes to things like video rendering and everything, that's what it really screws me up
Yeah.
for sure.
Facts. No, because I render my videos out in 1440p. So I don't render them out in 4K or 1080. And on my
Yeah.
3070, like an hour long video would take so long to fucking to export. But on this one, I did my last episode was like around an hour long, exported in like 15 minutes. I was like, let's fucking go.
Nice. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
I recommend the upgrade if you are looking
Yeah.
at the 4070 Ti Super. I'm liking frame gen is insane. Like
Yeah.
literally, it doubles your frames,
Yeah.
pretty much. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Nice.
How's your CPU looking?
My CPU is bad.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't even know what year it was.
Intel or AMD?
It's AMD.
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on both sides of it, but I've stuck with AMD the last few years. I'm trying to think of exactly. I'm looking it up right now.
So
No,
you
I've got
do.
it. It's
Oh, okay, for sure.
3600. I
Okay.
have a 3600.
Got it.
So
Got it.
it's
You're on 6
dated.
cores too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on a Ryzen. I built my PC back in 2020 when it was fucking crazy.
I
Like
know, man.
it
Yeah.
was crazy,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised that I even got my 3070 at MSRP at that time. So
Yeah.
shout out to fucking Newegg at the time, just clicking refresh.
Yeah.
But
You beat the bots.
I beat the bots. Yeah, I can't do
Yeah.
it no more though. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
for some things, like I couldn't beat the bots on the Spider-Man 2 plates. Could not beat the bots on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made my PC back in 2020. I got my motherboard and my CPU at a combo. So they
Okay.
came together. It was like
Yeah.
a prime deal. So I got a Ryzen 7 3800 XT and my motherboard's a B550, so it supported the Windows 11 upgrade as well. So
Right.
I got lucky. This is what I'm pretty
Yeah.
much trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. My computer, the base of it, I bought in 2017, and I've just Frankenstein parts together since then.
Yeah.
And so all of the parts apart, except for the processor, don't look that bad.
Mhm.
But when you talk about with the motherboard, and I can't go to Windows 11 even, and I can't upgrade to a better card, and
Oh wow.
and I think I can't do much better than the processor I've got because of the board. So
And because of the socket, huh? The specific socket that you have.
you got
You're
it.
probably
So
on
at this point, it's
AM4.
like, yeah, I am. Yeah, at this point, it's like I might as well just do a full new build because
Mhm. Yeah.
it'll all work together then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too, because the new AMD processors are on like an AM5 socket, and you need a completely new motherboard. You need completely new
Yep.
RAM for it.
Yep.
It's like that's why I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me just get this GPU upgrade and I'll be alright.
Right. Yeah. I've thought about waiting for the 5000 series, but I can't do it.
It's
I
too
can't do it.
long. Yeah, you need to
Too
wait. I think probably like a year or two it'll come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that'll be about it. And if I buy a whole new setup now and get a 40 series card and then decide that I want to upgrade just that, I could do that. Whereas right now, like if I upgrade anything, I have to upgrade everything pretty much
Mm-hmm.
because of the motherboard and all that goes along with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We've completely deviated into PC Master Race talk now.
That's all right. It's
perfect.
It's all right.
No, because like I said,
You have to
I did-
expect that if I'm on the show. All right.
Oh yeah. Exactly. I this past week, like I said, I got the GPU, but before that, I was completely on like consoles. Like
Mhm.
I love my console. I'll play on my PC if I really need to.
Mhm.
Like it's not. I don't want to play on my PC, but like
Yeah.
But it was the whole thing. It's like I need to go into the game. I need to like definitely look up optimized settings before playing. Like it's a whole process. It's a whole process, you know.
Yeah.
But since I've built my PC like a few years ago, I've started to like learn the settings. You know, you learn the language of the settings. You know, the textures. You learn that like if you're on the 8 GB of VRAM, you can't do ultra. You can probably only do like medium, maybe high, but you're most likely gonna stick on medium. So
Right.
like you learn these things as you go along. So it becomes easier as you go.
Right.
But yeah, definitely this GPU has converted me though, for sure. I would say.
Yeah.
That frame
Yeah.
gen, man, that shit was insane. Like before
Yeah.
turning it on, I was getting like 80 FPS in a Plague Tale, which I was like, this is good. I'm on 4K ultra.
Mhm.
I'm getting fucking
Yeah.
80, 90 FPS. I was like, this looks great. Turned that frame gen on, I was like, damn, I'm maxing out my frames here. I'm getting 120. Like because
Yeah.
I'm on the
On
max
4K.
Yeah, on 4K.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's on a 70 series card, so it's like it's
Yeah.
there. It's really the VRAM. It's
Right.
really the VRAM.
Uh huh.
But yeah.
That's
I
what a
don't
lot of it comes down to for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same with Starfield. I was getting like I tried with DLAA first.
Mhm.
So without DLSS, and I was
Yep.
getting like 50 to 60 frames with without any like frame gen or anything like that. And then I turned it to DLSS balanced, and then I turned on frame gen, and I was maxing out my frames because it tops out at whatever frame rate your monitor is on.
Right.
So
right.
it'll like sync up like I think through VSync or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was maxing
Yeah.
out my frames. I was like, damn. I was like, console ain't doing topping this.
Everybody who hates PC gaming hates it until they get a good PC, and then they love it. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's
It's funny
where
to
I'm
see
at.
the change.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But I'm surprised that I think the 3060 Ti is pretty similar to the GPU in the PS5. No.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. It's just held back a lot by my processor. But again, I can't really do, especially for the type of work I do. Obviously,
Yeah.
gaming is different, but I can't really upgrade my processor unless I upgrade everything. So at this
Yeah.
point, I'm like, well, I might as well just
Upgrade
upgrade.
everything.
I could keep the 3060 Ti in it, but then it's going to be the bottleneck instead of everything else. So I might as well
But-
just build a whole new thing.
Well, why not try Helldivers on PlayStation though?
Just because I think most of my friends are going to be playing on PC, and I know it's
okay.
going to be crossplay,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will. It just wherever my friends
Yeah.
get it is probably where I'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
That's why I was so curious about like seeing which one it's like how it runs, Because
Yeah.
even I was like that before last week. I was like, if it's a optimized port, then I'll get it on PC. But I know if I get it on console, at least there's a baseline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna run on. I mean, with few exceptions, it's gonna run on PlayStation.
Exactly.
It's gonna have varying results on PC for
Facts.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that is all that I have written.
All right, man.
We can go into an outro
Sure.
real quick. I wanted to say, so I would say the most beautiful thing about LSM is that like each person in LSM has like something to offer,
Mm.
like
Mhm.
each person has like something you can glean from them, like something different from the other one, and I've been listening to you guys for years, like years. I've been following Colin since back in the day. Since I started listening to him in the Beyond days back in 2011, talking about Uncharted
Mhm.
3.
Yeah.
So it's like, because I in my life I don't really have that many people to talk to about the things that I like love,
Yeah.
So like I needed to go out externally and find it.
Sure.
Being a little fucking emotional here. Oh my god.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
But yeah, like everyone from LSM has like something to glean,
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get my thoughts.
You're good, man.
I just never thought I would get to a point like this.
Yeah.
But the main thing I want to say is, there's things that I hear from all of you guys that like stick in my brain, like Colin like preaches like consistency,
Yeah.
and
Sure.
like I don't really have that many people in my life that like understand me on like a personal level,
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, man.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
let it flow.
I didn't think I was gonna get to this point, man.
It's good. It's nice to the a company can have a good impact on people for sure.
That's crazy. Let me breathe. PC gaming. Are you gonna get a 47?
Yeah, Master Race. I gotta be careful just screaming Master Race on the internet. That's not usually PC Master Race. Okay,
PC
specifically.
Master Race. Oh no. Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely agree. I want Nintendo to bring their fucking games to PC, man. I don't want to be stuck on 30 FPS no more. Like, please.
Right.
Now it sounds
30
like
FPS, 720.
now I'm crying about frames. No. No, but like I was saying, everyone from LSM has something to like. You can like extract something from everyone from LSM.
Sure.
Like you're a man of many hats. You've done a lot. Like I would say, like if I get to like half as much as what you've done, then I could say that I've made it. And I forgot when. I keep on referencing Colin, but he said this on one of his episodes like a while back. But he always says like when he went on Joe Rogan, he says like Joe Rogan was like he felt like he was on top of Titans. He felt like Joe Rogan was like a Titan, and he was like the little Kratos on his shoulder.
Right.
And
right.
And like this is my moment for me. Like you guys are the Titans for me. And I'm the angry little Kratos, mad at the world,
Well, it's very nice to be to be looked at that way. But I think it's important too to just remember we're just people who have a different position, different job. So I very much appreciate that sentiment. And yeah, you gotta ask the rest of the guys to get on. And guys
You're
and
the
girls,
first
yeah.
gym leader. How was it? How was this episode? Did you enjoy your time here?
It was great. I'm glad that we had a good conversation, and I appreciate the thoughtful questions and the good conversation. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Like I said, I was so honored to have you on, my friend. Thank you so much for giving me your time. It shows a lot that you don't even know me, and you still stuck your head out and gave me some of your time. And
hey, I'm always happy to talk about games and myself. Like what else can I ask for here, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, man. No, I appreciate you for coming on. For the audience, if you guys want to follow my friend Ben here, where can they reach out to you at?
Yeah, the best place is on Twitter. I'm Ben Smith 2588. I gotta have all the numbers there because my Ben Smith's not really that uncommon of a name.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. But yeah, that's the best place, and I'll post if I do podcast or streams or whatever. But Twitter's the hub for me, really.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll write it down in the description of the episode too, and you could I'll put in the self-promotion tab of the Discord. I do with all my stuff. I love that. I love the Discord and LSM. I have my own personal channel. I kind of try to replicate a little bit what you guys do. It's nice. You guys are they're like I said. You guys are like the example of like what like people should do. I think like for themselves.
Appreciate it.
And stuff. So.
I'm just a cog in the wheel, man, but I'm happy to be a part of it. So,
for sure. Yeah. And thank you for your time, my friend. Yeah. And for the audience, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. You guys want to check me out? I'm Subagels on YouTube. I'm Subagels on Patreon and all that. Thank you to my guest Ben here. I got my first gym leader down.
Hopefully, I wasn't the easiest. Yeah. You went out of order, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, and we out. Peace.